Alright guys, so we're doing the review today on the second gen Lexus IS250. This was 2006 or 7? 2006, 2012, and the first gen of course had the 2JZ non-turbo engine. So these years went to a V6, a direct injected V6, and a lot of the common issues on these, well, one, you can see the wheel, the paint peeling off. They had some issues with the touchscreen. The touchscreen stops working. That's about a $20 fix. And also these had issues with the dash, the same as the Camry dash where it would start peeling. That was a recall, and if you didn't get the recall, you had to buy a new dash or a dash cover. Yeah, so the recall was good up for 10 years. If you did not get it in the first 10 years, then you're pretty much out of luck. You could buy this car in all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. Kevin's guiding me here as we go along here. So front or rear or all-wheel drive. And no front-wheel drive. He's owned a few of these. The all-wheel drive ones had the rear CV axles were gone, and apparently that's kind of a common issue. Also said that the front and rear diff, the diff seal, the actual pumpkin seal, likes to drip. But as far as everything holding it up, I mean, the door panels are kind of plasticky, not too bad. Everything's holding up very good. It's like anything else though, you have to, keep up with the leather, right? And if you don't, it's not going to hold up. So when he got this, he treated the seats. They were getting pretty dry and hard. The previous owner hasn't treated them much, if any. This has the classic Lexus gauges that go black when you turn the key off. It says 173K on the clock and still going strong. And like I said, you get the giant V6. What liter was this, Kevin? 2.5. And then if you got the 350, is what, 3.5?
Yep.
And so it is available on 250, IS250, or 350. And overall, there's not a lot of engine problems. It is direct injected. So with anything direct injected, it does get carbon on the intake valves. Now in later years, they put a different set of injectors in to help with that problem. That's the overall reliability is pretty good on these. It's like anything else, you kind of got to know a little bit about working on something to be able to keep it going, but they don't have the coolant hose problems. A lot of cars have. They don't have a lot of those issues at all, and everything has plastic covers on it. It kind of deters people, but all that comes off pretty easily, and everything is not too difficult to work on. But no, it's kind of like the Tundra or like my Sequoia, no valve cover leaking, no funky oil leaking from different spots. Even at 173 on the clock, I mean, everything looks pretty good on this car overall. And as far as headlights go on this car in particular did not come with HIDs. So he retrofitted LED bulbs to it. And these are a little different. These actually going from the side, the bulb does, instead of facing straight in. So with the projector, you could use LEDs. The projector, the bulb goes straight in, it's very difficult. They have to have shrouds on them. And he's wanting to put LED fog lights in it. I mean, really, other than that, that's a nice dual exhaust. The trunk's pretty good size.
Seats don't fold down.
He said the seats don't fold down. It's like you got some LEDs and the license plate lights. I'm going
Factory LEDs and the tail lights and license plate cards.
Really? Okay. So yeah. And what was the cutoff of that? They all had it?
Yeah.
From 06 and up. Okay. All right. So that's it. I would say overall, it's definitely a good one to buy, especially if you can find the all-wheel drive one. See, I mean, a good deal on one of these would be, in the $6,000 range. Obviously, you can find them cheaper, but they go up to 12, pretty easy for a little bit newer one, this body style, all-wheel drive and all that kind of stuff. But that's it, guys. Hope you found this video useful, and we'll see you again very soon.